Hi, I'm Claire, this is Body Sculpt Pilates. So today we're going to do a mixed ability workout. So most of the moves are going to have varying levels, so you can decide whether to make them a little simpler or a little harder, depending on how you're feeling today, and also depending on what level you're at. So let's come down to the mat. Just take your time to get yourself into your neutral spine. So this is the position that your spine's at its strongest. So we want all the natural curves of the spine present. The feet are hip width, your hips and pelvis are down nice and level on the mat, then you've just got a pocket of air under the base of your back, just sat behind your hips, your shoulder blades are tucked underneath you. Be very careful your shoulders don't ride up near your ears. We want them down and away. Just while you're lying here, just take a couple of nice breaths, just to start to centre in on yourself. Just start to pull down your belly button and just activate your stomach muscles a little. Then see if you can lift your pelvic floor and get a bit of sensation coming into the pelvic floor. We're just going to take another round of breaths. Then when you're ready on an exhale, we're going to take one leg to tabletop. So we're just going to softly warm up the core muscles. We're going to take our second leg to tabletop and just concentrate on nice soft shoulders, stomach muscles drawing down, pelvic floor is just a little activated. Take the legs down one at a time. We're going to do 2 more rounds. Exhaling up, stabilising, second leg comes to join it. Let's do that again. One leg up, second leg. Take a nice deep breath. As the legs come down this time, we're going to roll it into an ab crunch. So we're bringing our fingertips forward, keeping our shoulder blades underneath us, and we're looking towards the knees, scooping the stomach muscles in, roll it back down. Inhaling, exhaling chin to chest, rolling it up. Now if you want to make it harder on the next one, we're going to put a little arm lift. You don't have to. Scoop in, float the arms up. Be careful it doesn't put tension in your shoulders. Take the arms back down. Roll it back down to the mat. Take the inhale, exhale it up. We're going to do 2 more. Really concentrate on the softness in those shoulders as you lift. Roll it back down. If you feel your neck's starting to get a little tight, you can just leave this section out. Always feel that you can just pop a hand behind your head to support it. So we're going to come into our traditional start to Pilates with the 100. Today we're doing mixed ability levels, so we're going to come into the 100 from the legs at tabletop. Chin rolls to chest, and we're reaching these fingertips nice and long. Alright, let's take ourselves into the pumps. So we're beating the arms down by our side, pulling down the stomach muscles. If this feels quite easy, you want to go up a level, you'll straighten your legs out. Squeeze the thighs together. Nice big panting breath, so we're going to do this for the count of 100. If you're not quite ready for this level, you can come back to bent legs at any time. And we're trying to really get the body nice and woken up. We're over halfway, keep going. Okay, as we start to come into the end, we're going to start to wind this down, taking a count from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw your knees in. Relax your body down. Just give yourself a nice knee hug and then pull out for a full body stretch. So we should be nice and warm. We should have found our stomach muscles. Big stretch. And then we're coming back into our neutral spine position. Okay, so again, we're now just resorting ourselves straight into this hip width, strong spine position, contracting the core muscles. Okay, so we're going to have a little bit of supine twist work today. And when we're working this, what we're concentrating on is that your shoulder blades remain down on the mat. So we don't want the shoulders lifting. We're going to slide the feet together and just very carefully roll the legs over to the left. Now all we're looking at to warm up on is that these shoulder blades stay nice and deep into the mat. Try and use your stomach muscles to pull the legs back. And then roll it over the other way. Inhale it back to the centre. Take it up and over. So we're just taking the legs a little further each time. The next level is that we're going to bring the knees into the knee hug position. I want you to take the legs as far over as you can keep your shoulder blades down. So it's not about how far you can go. It's about how well you can keep your upper back imprinted into the mat. And your stomach muscles are catching your legs when they've gone too far, and they're sending them back up and over the other way. To make it harder, we're just going to move the knees away a little and come more into a slightly open tabletop position. Should be getting a nice bit of warmth coming through your middle now. And if you want to make it harder still, take your legs up to the ceiling. So we've got a really big pendulum that's coming one way and the other. But the upper body stays nice and imprinted. I can't go too far over. I don't want to kick that mirror down. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Then draw the knees in. Supple the knees into the body. Just let that middle relax. Put the feet down. Okay, let's take ourselves into our bridge work. So just slide your feet a little bit closer to your body. Lengthen your arms down your sides and just take yourself into a pelvic tilt. So press the base of your spine down into the mat, and this just curls up your tailbone a little bit. Slight opening on the front of the hips, which is quite nice. Take a breath to think about your pelvic floor and your stomach muscles. Then just allow the hips to come back to neutral. Let's do 1 more. Roll the base of your back down. Press it into the mat. And come back again. Right, let's take it up to a bridge. So we're coming up from the hips. 1 vertebra at a time, starting at the tailbone, rolling through the spine as you lift up into your bridge. Make sure your knees remain still. They didn't open as you rolled up. And slowly lower yourself back down. So control your descent. And we literally want to try and separate each little vertebrae, so there's lots of movement rolling through the spine. Rolling it back down. Okay, we're going to put some arms in now. All we're going to do is at the top of the bridge, we're going to take our arms up and over behind us. Now what you're aiming to do is keep your bridge nice and still. We're not arching the back. We're not dropping the hips as the arms come back down. And we roll the bridge back out. So we want to stay as still as we can whilst we move those arms. If you don't like that, or if you're not quite ready, just take your arms to the ceiling. You don't have to take them all the way behind you. Or you can leave the arms out altogether and just work on your basic bridge. Remember, if you're not getting a good quality out of your moves, you're not going to be working the muscles right, okay? So we need to put the attention into every single move. Getting it nice and solid, nice and secure. Good. We're going to make that our last one. Rolling it back down. We need to flex the spine. So draw those knees in. Just let them sink in towards the chest. And pop the feet back down again. Right, last move that we're going to work on our back before we come over onto our side is we're going to do our scissors. If you know me, you know this is one of my favourite moves. So we're starting with our toe taps. When you get your leg to your tabletop, just want you to warm up your hips. Just get a little bit of control through the leg. 2 more taps, then we're going to keep this leg at tabletop. We're going to take a really nice hamstring stretch. Now I say nice, it's not actually the nicest feeling stretching hamstrings. If you're comfortable in this position, flex your foot, which just deepens that stretch a little bit more. Breathe into it. Then softly bend the knee, take hold of the knee, just hug it in. Give that hip just a little bit of a release, then pop that foot down. Let's go the other way. So leg to tabletop, same thing, a couple of toe taps, exhaling the toe down, inhaling it back, just getting a nice bit of control in your hips. Let's do 2 more, then we're going to take that stretch. This is when you'll realise which is your most flexible side, okay? So we're going to lengthen the leg up. You'll feel the base of your back press down on the mat, that's fine. Breathe into that stretch, okay? Don't be tempted to release it too quickly. Oh, yeah, okay, this leg's tighter for me. You're going to flex that foot, work into that hamstring stretch. Then we're just going to bend the knee, hug it in. Right, so we're going to start off with just some very low level scissoring with the toe taps. We're going to bring the legs one at a time to tabletop. So this is our start position for this move. And all we're doing here is just getting the control and isolating each side of the hip socket. So as we exhale one leg down, the other leg's nice and still. Now, if you're feeling this in your back or it's not a very comfortable move, you can pop one leg down and just work on what we were working on, just toe tapping with one leg. The next level is we're going to come chin to chest, we're going to extend one leg up, drop the other leg down. So we're in our scissor position. Now just holding behind the thigh, it's a very gentle scissor. Now don't worry if your legs are a little bent and you're not quite managing to straighten your hamstrings yet. If you are managing to straighten your legs, we're working a little bit more to stretch. So if you can hold a little higher, work that stretch a little deeper, so we're just drawing the leg in. Okay, let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw the knees in. It's a lovely stretch move, lovely strengthening move. Lengthen out. We're going to roll onto our sides. Right, so over we come. So we're going to line ourselves up down the front of the mat. Make sure you can just see your toes. Then you're going to lay your head down onto your bicep. Now if that's not comfortable, you can just bend your arm a little. Pop your hand down in front of you, about a foot from your chest, and this shoulder is going to stay perfectly still. Make sure you straighten your head and neck up. So once you've checked that your body's nice and straight, your feet are joined, we're going to go into top leg lifts. So what we're working on here is just a little bit of warm up in the hips. Also we're checking our positions okay. We're going to do double leg lifts today. So in a moment we're going to drop that top leg just to hip height, okay? Now you're going to get the bottom leg and you're going to squeeze it up to join it. Have a little think about how that felt. If you tensed your upper body, then you just want to come back and do that again. So we lift one leg to hip height, bottom leg comes and joins it. Squeeze them together and lower the legs back down. Now just check that you can still see your feet, that they haven't shot behind your back. And now we're going to lift both legs at the same time. Lifting the legs up away from the mat, I want you to feel like you're not pushing them up with your upper body. The upper body remains nice and light, and we lower them back down. Don't worry if they don't feel great, you'll get better as you practice them. Okay, so if you want a little bit more challenge, you'll remove your supporting arm and stack it down your side. Now be careful when you lift in this position that you don't roll back onto your hips. Oh, let me come back again. And also that you don't pull your shoulder behind you. Everything should remain in a nice straight line. So we're lifting the legs up, and it's this area between the rib and the hip that's just contracting, and we're taking it back down. If you're feeling it pulling in your back, just move your legs a little bit more in front of you. Let's do one more. Lifting up and lowering the legs back down. You're now going to pop your hand down in front of you and we're going to take it into the scissors. So we're going to float both legs back up just a little bit and we're going to separate one leg forward and one leg comes back. Now the stomach muscles are pulling in really hard to keep you nice and still. So we don't want to be rocking around all over the place. If this hurts the hip that you're lying on, please just leave this move out. Let's do 2 more. Good. And then we're drawing the knees in. Just a nice little scissoring to finish on. Little side knee hug, just release those hips. Then we're going to roll onto our front. Okay, so we're going to have some back extensions. Then we're going to have a nice little swan stretch. So we're going to warm up in the back extension. Take your arms down by your sides. Soften your shoulders and your forehead down to the mat. On an exhale, you're going to lift your head, neck and shoulders, reaching and activating your fingertips to your toes whilst keeping your chin tucked in. So just have a think, have you looked up? Are you suddenly looking off the end of your mat? If you are, you've raised your chin and you're compressing the back of your neck. I want you to take the head and tip it back down and come back down to the mat. Soften your shoulder blades, soften your glutes and then lift back up. Lengthening out of the crown of the head and lower. Okay, we're going to do one more to warm up on. Exhaling up, lengthening right out the crown of the head, and you're going to spiral your arms round into a U shape and lower back down to the mat. So your shoulders want to be in alignment with your elbows, the hands are clear of the mat and the shoulder blades are soft. Keep your elbow and your hand on the floor. Just lift your head, neck and shoulder up away from the mat. So you're just opening over the top of your shoulder blades. And then lower it back down. Fully soften, let everything go. And come back up again. Little press of the hand and the elbow down on the mat. And lower. We're going to lift the arms up on this one. Be careful again that you don't look up, you keep looking down. So we're coming head, neck, shoulder releases. And the elbows float up. Make sure you don't pull your elbows back. We stay in this nice open U shape and we lower it back down to the mat. Soften, let the shoulder blades go. We're going to do one more. Float up, head, neck, shoulders, arms come up. Lots of length running through the spine. As you come down this time, we're going to take it into a swan stretch. We're going to lift the head, neck, shoulders, peeling the upper body away from the mat and sliding the shoulder blades down the back. Nice stretch across the stomach and take it back down. Let's do one more. Inhaling, exhaling up. Lengthen, slide the shoulder blades down your back. Lots of mobility right down into the base of your spine. And we roll it back down. Lift yourself up and push yourself back into a child's pose. So you're just sitting back into your heels, just rounding the base of your back. And let's come up and over. Right, I hope you're doing okay. So we need to do our side moves the other way. Straighten my mat back up. Right, so make sure you can see your toes. Lay yourself down. Making a nice straight line through the body, then just place your hand in front of your chest. Like we did on the other side, straighten your neck back up and we take ourselves into the one leg lift. Nice smooth lifting, you want to feel nice and free in the hip. And it's not about how high you can lift your leg, it's about how well you're staying stacked. You don't want to lift your leg so high that you have to twist and drop the hip. We want to keep it nice and upright. So we're going to take this top leg to hip height. Just stabilise it there. Take a little breath. Squeeze the bottom leg up. So did your shoulders tense? Did you rock around a little bit? Take them back down and have another go. Top leg comes to hip height, bottom leg comes up. Now if that felt okay, you're going to start to lift and lower the legs at the same time. If it didn't and you felt a little bit tense, just work one leg at a time. If you want to make it harder, remember the progression from the other side. You remove one arm, so you're challenging your balance. It's quite hard talking as well at the same time. Lifting up and taking it back down. We're going to do two more. Take your time with it, lift. And remember, it's this area here that's shortening. You're just working this area a little bit closer to the ribs moving to the hip. Good. Or the hip to the rib. Take a breath. And take it back down. Side bend, just have a little release. And then we're going to take it into the scissors. So put your hand back down in front of you, float the legs up just a little, and we're splitting the legs. So remember what I said, if this is hurting the hip that you're lying on, you don't have to do the move. It's quite a challenging move to keep yourself nice and still, so we're not going to do too many. We're going to do two more. 1 and 2. Pull those knees in. Nice little side knee hug to release. And we're going to come up to seated. Okay, I'm going to swing my legs this way so you can see me. So we're going to do our spine section now. So we're going to work on our vertebrae. We want lots of mobility through the back. So just take a moment again to focus on how you're sitting. We want our sit bones to be nice and level on the mat, so these are the bones just under your glutes. Then we're going to lift and lengthen up the spine, so literally like somebody's tugging the top of your head. Chuck your shoulder blades down behind you, so they're not rolled forwards. Then depending on how flexible you are, depends on how much you straighten your legs out. If you try to take your legs out and you're not ready and you just slumped your back, please don't worry. Bend your knees a little, lift back up. It's your spine that I'm interested in, not how flexible your legs are. If you can get your legs out, great. Don't worry as well if it feels a little bit uncomfortable on your legs, okay, at the front and your hips. This does get better. Right, take your thumbs, pop them on your chest. And we're going to take some rotations. Take a little inhale. Think about from your belly button to your hips remaining still as you rotate and twist through the waist, wrapping both ribs around to one direction. Take an inhale, back to the centre. Exhale it the other way. Be very careful your shoulders don't lift. Inhale, centre. Make sure you're still sitting nice and tall. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, centre. Exhale, rotate. When we come back to a start position, we're going to have that lovely upright spine. We're going to release the hands in front of us. Make sure the shoulders are behind. And we're going to peel forwards. One vertebra at a time, folding from the belly button, looking down to the knees. Big forward stretch. I know it's not the most comfortable, but just breathe there. Then we're going to lift the arms up to the ceiling, pulling up nice and tall, shoulder blades down the back, then fold from the belly button, reaching the fingertips towards the toes, and we restack. Let's do that again. Take an inhale, exhale forwards. Hold the stretch, lift, lengthen the spine, nice and tall. Then again, we're folding from the belly button, pulling and bracing the belly button backwards as we reach the fingertips forwards. Big stretch under the legs, and we restack. Relax. Okay, it's a tough move, all that spine work. We're going to come down onto the mats. The last little series we're going to work on today is going to be our teasers, which if you know me, you know is one of my favourite moves, but it is a little bit challenging. So we're going to work lots of different layers. When you find a layer that's good for you, stick at that. You can always revisit the video or go and have a look at my how-tos for a little bit more information on the individual moves. So to start with, coming down into this neutral spine position, taking the arms long down by the sides, we're going to lengthen one of the legs away. Now in this position, what we don't want is this leg too tucked in. So I want you to just then push that foot away from you, so the angle's not too big at your hip or your knee. So we're going to come into some lower level teasers. To warm up the hip, we're just going to lift the leg till the knees are level, and just think about that nice bit of length coming out of the sole. So you're already stretching through that leg, out of the hip, and we lower it back down. We're going to do one more. Lift and lengthen the leg, and lower it back down. Now we're going to bring our chin to our chest, and just lift down the line of the body as the leg comes up. Now what we're concentrating on is lowering the leg and the head at the same time. One more, chin rolls to chest, the leg comes up, and we lower it back down. We're going to lift the arms as well now, so we're coming into a nice low level teaser. Chin's coming to chest, legs and arms are coming up. The great thing about a teaser is anybody can do a level, okay? Pick your start point and work up from there. Let's do one more, chin rolls to chest. So we're just releasing our shoulder blades, we're compressing down the stomach, then we're taking everything back down at the same time. So this one, we're going to come a bit higher. You can stick at that level if you want to. If not, a bit like a roll up. We come chin to chest, we start to release the upper body and the leg lifts. And we're reaching nice and long, so the chest is up. We don't want to be here, feeling like you're going to roll back down. You want to have your chest nice and in front of you. Really slide the shoulder blades back. Then we lower everything down to the mat at the same time. And actually the unravel is really tough work. Let's come again. Chin to chest, we roll up and we lengthen. So it doesn't matter if you've just released your shoulders and you're still lower level. You're going to pin your knees together and we're going to swap legs. Roll it back down. Right, let's warm up this way. So remember, push that foot away from you. Don't have that leg too bent. Just lift the legs. So we're warming up completely from the start position again. Just thinking about the control in that left hip. So we're just lifting and lengthening and lowering. Then roll your chin to your chest. Really engage through those core muscles and let the leg float up. Now concentrate on the unravel. We're controlling through our stomach as we lay the body back down. Inhaling, exhaling up and coming back down. So now we're going to come up into the lower level teaser. So the arms are going to come up as well. The shoulder blades are behind us. And we lower it back down again. One more at that level. So it doesn't matter if you just have a set here. You don't have to come up. If you want to, we're going to come chin to chest. We're going to release the upper body. We're going to roll up and lift. Now what you may just have realised is you find it easier on one side than the other. So one leg lift you might find a little easier to engage in. The other side might have been harder. Okay, this is where you now need to think about what level you wanted to work on. If that felt really good and you want to go up another level, we're going to take both legs out. If you want to just have a go at refining what you were just doing, continue doing it. If both legs are out straight, we're just going to squeeze our glutes and our thighs a bit, so we're making our powerhouse much bigger. Now when we lift the legs, it's quite a lot of work on the front of the thighs, The first lift we're going to do, we're going to take hold of the legs just to help you a little bit. So we're going to do like a roll up. The chin's going to roll to the chest. We're going to start to take the upper body up and then the legs lift. So take hold of your legs and just use them just to find a little bit of stability. And you can grab them any time you want. That's what's so great about having your legs in this position. Then you're going to release the arms and we're going to roll it back down again. Now where your arms are really helps to either intensify or make it a little easier. If the arms are down low, it's easier. If the arms are up, it's harder. So I'm going to show you an easier level one. We're going to roll the upper body and lift, and the arms are down. So there's no weight on the upper body. Then we roll it back down again. It's quite hard to talk. Next one, we're going to lift the arms up a little higher. Chin rolls to the chest. And we lift. So the arms are on the same level as the legs. And we take it back down. Now on the next one, if you want a real challenge, don't worry if you've had enough. We're going to take the arms up above the head. So rolling forward, lifting. We take the arms up. Carefully, you don't collapse down into your spine. And we roll back down again. Full body stretch. Well done. That's quite a challenge to end on. So you can revisit that, practice your teasers. They're a really good mix of stretch and strength, and they are a challenge, but it's nice in a mixed ability to feel like you're achieving some harder moves. So have a really good full body stretch. Remember that on my how-to there's a full section of little stretches that you can do, so if you feel like you now need to have a good full body stretch, visit there. I hope you enjoyed today's session. And please do subscribe to my channel where you'll find lots of other workouts.